Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about table extension and page extension, how to use this, and what are all the properties which you can use it in the table and page extension. The playlist where I am uploading all the topics, all the ideas about the business central, right from the learning path. As a technical consultant, what you should learn, what are the topics you should cover, and what is the complete introduction to Microsoft Dynamics 365, how to get started with the AL programming. So you can see nearly I have uploaded various exercises, projects. So here you can see a simple project, everything. I'll be keep on updating the same. Please do watch it. So now let us directly go into the topic, that is table and page extension. So table extension is an object to extend existing table in the Microsoft Dynamics 365. So what is that existing table? See here in your Visual Studio Code, if you go to the AL object designer, so you can see that the tables which are already available, that is the ID, you can see that the ID 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So while I was discussing about the table, okay, table and the introduction part about all these objects, we have learned, we have come across like what are the basic object IDs which we can create it. Okay, so for example, that is the first one to 49,999. These object IDs are for Microsoft owned objects. Okay, so objects in the sense here I am mentioning about the object like a table, page, table extension, page extension, etc, etc. Okay, so 1 to 49,999. So from 50,000, from 50,000 we can own it, like the clients who are using, the customers who are using. So if you see any of the object ID between these number, then that is Microsoft's owned object. Okay, that is already created by Microsoft. So here you can see that this is the table ID is 3. Okay, and the name is payment terms. So this is what the Microsoft owned object. So here you can see that this is by Microsoft itself, like this is created by Microsoft. Okay, so this is what. So if we want any of these things and we want to extend the any other fields into it, for example, we may need exactly what is given here in this field. For example, if you just go and check for um okay, the customer. Okay, if you click here the customer, you can see that okay, for your project requirements as well, you need all these fields. Okay, number, name, etc. But only thing is all these validations and everything, but only thing is you wish to add one few more fields into it. Okay, in that case we can extend it. Okay, extend in the sense you have already the table and everything with the extend with the field. Okay, this is a table, imagine that this is a table which you have, it has its own field, it has its own validations and everything, but the only thing is you cannot directly access it. Okay, you have to extend this. Okay, by extending you can insert a new, like you can create a new your own field into it, and you can use that. Okay, you have to extend it anyhow. So this is the Microsoft owned object. Okay, and this is our table. Okay, what are the fields which you wanted to insert into it? So that is what the logic. Fine. So we can add new fields. So as I told, you can add the field but you cannot delete it. Okay, you can add new field but you cannot delete or change the existing field. So what is the existing field? Here you can see that number, name, search name, these are all the existing field. Okay, you cannot do anything. Even if you try to delete something over here, it will tell you that cannot edit in a read only editor. Okay, so this is what, you cannot change anything, you cannot add, you can add, sorry, you can add a new field but you cannot delete or change the existing field. Okay, so there are certain table properties that cannot be modified with a table extension. So even properties you cannot do, you cannot modify. We can create a new secondary keys but cannot modify the primary key. Okay, these are all the few things which you should remember while creating a table extension, while extending the existing table. Okay, here you can see that this is what we are going to try it. Okay, this is the table extension, that is a social media, we are going to extend it. Okay, and we are going to add the fields, so that I'll show you lively with the demo. And this is the table extension properties. What are the basic properties which you have in the table extension? As we discussed in the table, you have the extension property as well. This is caption ml, data caption field, and description. Okay, so these are all the table extension properties and the field properties. So even here you can see that in table we have many properties, but in table extension we have only few properties. Okay, so we are going to do this first. Now while doing this, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to create this table extension using using a new extension. Okay, that is using a new extension in the Visual Studio Code. Why I'm going to show you this is because while you are trying to do, okay, while you are trying to extend any table, you may wanted to add more than 10 fields or 20 fields. In that case, you wanted to go and type everything over the code. Instead of that, this extension will definitely help you to easily create a table extension with even multiple fields. Even with the 50 fields you can create it within 5 minutes. Okay, that is what I'm just going to show you. So for that you need this extension called AZAL Dev Tools AL code. Okay, this is the extension we have. So I have already discussed about this extension in the previous video. You can check it here. Okay, I have discussed about the extensions, complete extensions. Now I'm just going to show, this is the extension I have already discussed, but now I'm just going to show only the AZAL Dev tool extension. Okay, so this is available in the object designer. So if you click here AZ wizard, okay, it will ask you what you wanted to create. Okay, I wanted to create a table extension. Okay, that is what we are going to create. Click table extension. So once if you click the table extension, it will give you an object ID. We will just change the object ID because I know that I have created already with the till 50115. So I'm just going to name this as a social media. Okay, because I wanted to add, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few fields. Okay, this is, imagine that you have the customer field. We are going to touch the customer page. Okay, so you have a customer page. Okay, this is the customer page which already we have. I can even show you the customer page how it looks. Okay, so this is the customer page. Got it? If you click on any tile, you can see that how it looks like. In general, you have number, credit, address, contact, invoicing, payments, shipping, tax information, statistics. So here I wanted to add the social media information about the customer. Okay, for example, I wanted to add what is his Facebook ID. Okay, what is his Twitter handle. Okay, I wanted to write about his Twitter and his Instagram. Okay, and LinkedIn. So Insta and LinkedIn. So I wanted to add these four fields into that existing table. Okay, if I want to display that in the page, anyhow I wanted to add something in the table, so I'm going to do that. Okay, social media, so I'm just going to use the name called social media. Fine, this I'm going to extend. In what we are going to extend is what, in the customer. So once if you type the name of the table, it will show you what are all the tables which are available, which is already owned by the Microsoft. So here I can simply select customer. Okay, and as we discussed, we are going to add what, we are going to add four fields. One is Facebook. Okay, you can give the data type of the Facebook, so it is like text. Okay, and what is the length of it. Okay, I'm just going to give so here data classification to be classified. Likewise, Facebook, Instagram, text 50 to be classified, and Twitter, text 50 to be classified. Last one is LinkedIn. Sorry, LinkedIn, text 50 to be classified. Okay, so if you wanted to very keen about the performance and all, you can reduce the length. Fine, so 50, let us keep it as 50, no problem. So once if I click finish, you can see the miracle. Okay, you can create n number of possible field here. So these are all the fields, okay, I just wanted to add. Once if you click finish, you can see the miracle that the table extension is created along with the id and its name, and it extends the customer on all the fields. Okay, anyhow I wanted to go and delete it, edit it, type it, everything is created now. It's very simple. Okay, so I have created the page extension for the customer. Okay, but anyhow I just wanted to display that in the a page, right? I wanted to display that. If you just go and see, you can even see the table extension name, that is the al code which is already created by itself. Okay, if you click rename, you can see the table extension is already created. Okay, now let us, anyhow, in order to view that, if you wanted to give some input to that particular table, you wanted to create a page. Okay, that is what the next step. Okay, the table we have created, and for this you have to create a page for that. Okay, so we are going to create a page with the same similar set of fields. Okay, so I'm just going to create a page for that. So let us see whether we have the page here. Okay, so we are going to take the customer card. Okay, once if you click the customer card, you can see that this is the customer card. Okay, so we are going to extend that page here. So you can try this AZ wizard. Okay, so first try to create the table extension. I will show you how to create a page extension directly. Okay, like coding. So you can simply select t page, so it will show you like what are the page extension you have, like page of type API. Okay, so t page extension, if you type ext, it will show you t page ext. Likewise, you can also create the table extension as well. Okay, that is also possible, but you can select it here. Okay, since we have, okay, got it. So now let us just go and execute. Okay, now let us go and change it here. This is what 50117, right? So let us give the 50117, and in the extension you can change the extension name. Okay, social media, and you can tell which one you're going to extend it. So I wanted to extend this customer card. Okay, so I'm just extending customer card. So you can see that customer card is available here. So anyhow, the first one will be the layout. Okay, so you have to tell, because here you can see that this is the basic page. Okay, page layout. So here you have already few values are here and fields are here. So where you're going to add it? Okay, that is what the page extension properties we have. So page extension, anyhow, if you are extending the table, you have to extend the page as well. So you have to add the fields. Okay, likewise, in table you cannot as we discussed, like you cannot delete or modify the existing field. That is the Microsoft owned object. The same thing applies to the page extension as well. You cannot change anything, but you can add these things. Like these are the properties. Okay, caption ml, caption data, caption expression, expr, description, promoter action, categories ml. So this we can do it. Okay, so this you can do it, but you have to tell where you're going to do it. Okay, here you have the block like general. Okay, address contact. So where you're going to do, whether you are going to add it before, add it after, or something like that, you have to mention where you have to do. So that is what the layout. Okay, so if you just press control and enter, you can see that you have various options. Okay, add after. So after what you're going to add, for example, if I wanted to add after the general, then I can give add after. Okay, add before in the sense, if you want to add this particular block of code before something, you can tell. Okay, as of now I'm just going to try add first. Okay, add first, and you can give general. Okay, first in the sense you have general, right? So I'm just giving add general. Okay, and you have to open and close the curly brace, everything within that. So we are going to add the field here. I'm sorry. So you're going to add the field, because what are the fields, we are going to do that. Okay, and here this is, since it is a page, so I don't want these much data in the field. I'm going to add the Facebook. Okay, we have the Facebook, right? And you are going to get it from where? You're going to get it from the Okay, so once if you click REC, everything will go off. And data classification is for table, not for the page. So you can make it as an application area is equal to all. Fine. And you can simply copy this because we have four, what to say, we have four social media. We have added four different social medias here. So you can just paste it, paste it, paste it. And you can change it Facebook to what we have added in the second one, that is Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Okay, Insta. So this is not a warning. Okay, that is a brown color. That is not a warning, but that is simply sorry. That is not an error. That is a warning. Okay, Instagram, then Twitter, and here you can see that this is LinkedIn, and you can change it to RAC dot. Okay, so add first. I have told like add first. Okay, and you can give a record like a record to just properly fetch the data directly from that particular thing. So this is what the layout. And if you want to add any action, so if you just give some actions to it, can just press control and space, you can see there are various actions as well. We will discuss about this action later. This is a very simple example I just wanted to show you for the table extension and page extension, so I'm just leaving it as such. So now you can see that here we have extended the table and here we have extended the page. Okay, now while executing, I'm just going to execute it with the 22. That is what the customer. Okay, here since I have extended the customer page, so the customer page, it's a customer table. So that if you want to execute it, the page ID is what, 22. Okay, because we are extending the page, that particular Microsoft's owned object. So let us press Control F5 to execute and see what happened once we extend it and where it is, where my data are stored. So here you can see that this is the customer record. So once I click the customer, you can see that in the general, it has added the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I have told like add first. Okay, so in the first field itself, it is added. But if you see the previous customer, the same customer I have opened before extending it, you can see that there is no social media information. It is simply showing that. Okay, so this is what all about the extension, page and table extension. So once if you give something, it will be automatically saved into that particular table, the data will be saved and you can execute it. So if you want to extend any of the field in an existing table, you can use the table and page extension. But no one thing, you cannot delete, you cannot modify the existing fields like number, name, balance, anything. You cannot change it, you can simply extend it. So, what do you feel like the stable extension in the Dynamics 365 Business Central objects allows us to add additional fields or to change some properties on a table provided by the Dynamics 365. So, for the properties, in the sense, you can extend and you can also change the property of that. Okay, that is the existing one. So, you cannot delete it, of course, but you can change few things. Okay, so extensions will reduce the cost and efforts on the upgrade, and it will also improve the performance of builds, automations and deployments, and it will make easy to apply new releases. Okay, because since you are just customizing it, so it allows us to separately build models or projects regardless of the application. Okay, so this is how the page extension and table extension will work. So here you can see that this model, that is extensions will give you the option to create a new model element. You can extend existing model element. You can extend the source code using a class extension. You can customize the business logic. You can create an event handler. You can create an that is, you can create more and more flexibilities with the table and page extensions. Okay, I hope you understand what is the concept of the table and page extension. So my idea here, like, completely is what I'll be telling you for easy example. Okay, I'll be explaining you with an easy example of how to use every all the objects. Okay, so far I have discussed about table, page. Now I have discussed about the table extension and the page extension. So in the next video I'll be discussing about the report, like simple report, how you can create a simple report. And I'll explain you how to create a query. Okay, simple query. And gradually we will be discussing about everything, like what is a trigger, table level trigger, page level triggers, every triggers, all type of triggers, and report level triggers. Everything we will discuss in the upcoming videos. I hope you find this video useful. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.